All right, the last of our reflections, and probably a tricky one here is, again, because it requires memorization, is when y equals x or y equals a negative x. And Ms. Watts did a great job of explaining the slope-intercept. Just for time's sake and the fact that this is a review, I'm not going to go into that all again. But again, you just need to know the function notation. The function notation for y equals negative x is that my original points, x and y, are going to change to, and it's exactly what you see here, okay? I've got a negative, and I've got y, and I've got x. So the first thing I'm going to do to my new points is I'm going to flop the order. So my y is going to go first, and then my x. Because I have a negative here, that means I'm going to change the sign of both my coordinates. So let me give you an example. M, -2, 6. According to the function notation, I'm going to change the order. So that makes this 6, -2. Okay. The second thing I have to do is I've got to take the opposite. I've got to change my sign. So this +6 becomes a -6, and this -2 becomes a +2. Okay? All right. Now, just remember, the line of reflection now is going to be a slope that goes down, okay? All right. And it's really difficult to count, so that's why we're going to use the function notation. But just look at my new point. Point M is going to be -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. And that is going to be M prime. Okay? All right, let's do another point. Let's look at N. My original point for N is 2, 8. So looking at the function notation, what's going to happen to get my new point, my image? What do I need to put first? Good. 8 and 2. Am I finished? Nope. Got to change the sign. -8, -2. Now, as you get the hang of this, you may be able to change the order and change the signs at the same time. That is entirely up to you. Just make sure that you remember to do both. So let's do letter O to O prime and change the order and the signs at the same time. So so 5, 2 is going to become -2, -5. Notice I changed the order from 5, 2 to 2, 5, and I also got the opposite. I changed the sign at the same time. Okay? All right, let's look at P just to make sure there's no questions here about what to do with the number 0. Is number 0, is it positive or negative? It's neither, okay? So you'll never have that sign in front of 0. So if I change the order, remember my function notation, the order and the sign at the same time, that means I'm going to change 1, 0 to 0, -1. Okay? All right. What if you had the equation y equals x? You need to know the function notation. You've just got to memorize this. But it's kind of given to you, right? Because this is what it looks like. My pre-image points of x and y are going to become, right here, yx. That is the function notation. That is what you would do with the points. Okay? So, y -x, my function notation, I'm going to take this right here, yx, and I'm going to change the sign of both. So my function notation is xy becomes -y, -x. When y equals x, my function notation, I'm just going to take this line of reflection right here, and that becomes my function notation. So I hope that clears up any questions you have about y equals -x and y equals x.